Travis Scott is a name I'm sure everyone here knows about, and if you go on Google and search Travis Scott Illuminati, Travis Scott one-eyed symbolism, it's everywhere. He's very open about his alliance with the Illuminati. I mean, he even has a song that says he has one eye open Illuminati, and this might be the verse that makes them drop me. And you're probably thinking, another rapper in the Illuminati, who cares? Well, the main thing I want to talk about is his astroworld concert that went horribly wrong. And if you're not familiar with this, it happened in November of 2021, and a huge crowd rush occurred during the first night of the festival, and 10 people died and 25 were hospitalized, and there were many injuries. But what many people don't know is that there was so much dark satanic symbolism around this concert, and I need to point it out. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this already, but please watch. First of all, before we get into the concert itself, look at his shirt that he was wearing. It's like little baby demons walking out of a door that turned red, and then the other side of a door, they look like they're falling, but they're blue. I mean, I don't really understand what it is, but it's just weird, and you know there's some type of meaning behind that. Now let's look at the layout of the concert itself. See, the stage is the shape of an inverted cross, and we all know that represents the Antichrist, and that's not reaching at all. I mean, that's a perfect upside down cross. And behind the cross is a bunch of mountains, which is the shape of a triangle that's correlated with the Illuminati. Now, I don't want to get that deep / conspiracist just yet, but let's see what happens when this is illuminated at night. Now, does it really look like mountains? That just looks like a burning red triangle with a portal in the middle that says, "See you on the other side." I mean, how creepy is that? A concert where people lost their lives, the word "see you on the other side" has a whole different meaning. And then the other words that it flashed was the escape plan, and people were literally trying to run for their lives, but they couldn't because it was so compact and squished. The mobs were pushing them and squeezing them, and they couldn't breathe. I mean, what a coincidence that these were the two phrases on the backdrop of the concert. And if you look on top of the stage, there's like hunched over demons or souls walking. Now, this has to have some type of symbolism. I don't know what it could possibly be. Maybe people's souls leaving the concert, but why the heck would this be there? What does this have to do with music? This was also playing at the same exact time as Travis called for security, and you want to know what Travis did when the security came? Watch this clip.
He knew what he was doing. He was staring right at the soulless body. Wake up, BPL.
This dude is chanting "yeah" in some demonic tone as someone is getting carried out. Like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, what? I'm sorry, I just get so speechless every time I see that. I mean, he could be doing anything else other than just chanting some weird noise. If that's not demonic, then I don't know what is. Now, this was the entrance of Astroworld. It's the cover of the album, which is Travis's head, and his mouth is open and people walk into it. One, that just looks creepy too. It's like he's consuming people's souls. So that's the original picture, which is the cover of the album, and what I just showed you was the recreation of it in real life, which was the entrance to the concert. The reason I'm showing you this is because it looks oddly similar to this art piece, which is a famous piece that's supposed to represent hell. It's a weird looking figure with people inside of it, and it looks like Travis just replaced the weird figure with his face. With all these things happening at the concert, surely this was a satanic ritual, right? Well, what's funny is that someone actually asked him that question in an interview.
Some people say your music played a role in this. Like, I've seen them, cite lyrics, that encourage this kind of behavior. I've seen them say your music is demonic and this was a satanic ritual. You think your music is to blame?
I mean, no. I'm a man of God, so that's the first thing first, and so it's just, yeah, that's that. And your music is just like self-expression. You know what I'm saying? And at these shows, I feel like people kind of like look at things, and if you've been to a Travis show, it's been different layers of shows, Mm-hmm. I think people are just, misconceptions and taking things they're seeing, and, all type of things, and I've took pride in trying to, grow from where I was when I first recorded music to now where I'm going in music. So yeah, I just think people gotta, and that's one thing with me, is just people gotta kind of experience it sometimes. And I think that's what it was. People were kind of like, even before, people were hearing about it, they come and experience it and taking away their own thing. And it's always going to be an outside opinion. But, for the ones that, really believe in me and, understand what I'm about and what I'm doing, no, that's not what I'm, preaching. I always preach like love, always preach understanding, always preach, take care of your loved ones, love each other. You know what I'm saying? Get out your ideas. Never let yourselves be stopped.
I'm going to tell you something right now. My man was not expecting that question. I mean, he danced around that question better than he danced on any concert stage in his life. I mean, I couldn't make out one thing he said. He was just saying a bunch of gibberish. I mean, I really have no idea what he just said. One thing that I did hear is that he's a man of God, and that's awesome that he's a man of God, but what God is he talking about? And if he is a man of God, well, I have to show you guys something. Travis Scott has a song named Stop Trying to Be God. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is actually the definition of blasphemy when you watch the music video. Obviously, the name isn't, but let's watch the music video. And due to copyright, we can't straight up watch the music video, but I'm going to show you tiny little clips and you'll understand what I'm getting at. So the music video starts off as him leading a herd of sheep. Now, you can interpret this any way you want to. I mean, there's multiple ways and they're really not in a good way, because he could be mocking Jesus in the Bible who was leading the sheep, or he's just calling his fans the sheep and he's leading them to wherever he's taking them. The reason why I think he's mocking Jesus is the very next scene, because it's literally him in the sky where it appears to be heaven or something, and he's dressed up as God. Keep in mind, the name of this song is Stop Trying to Be God. I mean, this is clearly him just not caring and making fun of others people's religion, which is just sad to see. In the next scene, he raises his hands up in front of people that are all wearing the same outfit on top of a mountain, and they all proceed to do the same as him. Hold on a minute. The very first scene that we watched was him leading a bunch of sheep. Sheep all mostly look the same, right? They're usually white. All of these people are wearing white. We then see him on top of a mountain where we see God doing a lot of his teachings in the Bible. And then the last scene, we saw him in the sky pretending to be God. All right, now this is where we start to raise questions. If you're starting to get pissed off like me, this next scene is not going to make you any happier. The same people that were on the mountain are now lined up to get baptized by Travis Scott. This is utter blasphemy to say you're a man of God and then have a music video out with hundreds of millions of views, pretending to be God, baptizing people, leading sheep, and then you continue to post Illuminati signs, rap about drugs, alcohol, and women. All I know is the God that he was talking about in the interview is not the God that you're thinking about.